Where the comic books at?
Hey everybody, it's Jane. I just got back from HeroesCon in Charlotte, North Carolina, my favorite convention in the world. And I've got all kinds of interesting things to show you and talk about in our pickups, so let's get into that. But first, I do have a little bit of housekeeping. I recently appeared on the Trade School podcast, produced by the Certain POV Network. Maybe it's Certain Point of View. Either way, I got to talk about Trail of the Catwoman by Ed Brubaker and Darwin Cook. So that was a lot of fun, so I will have links to that in the description. If you do check that out, I hope you enjoy it. Alright, that was actually all the housekeeping, so let's get right into the HeroesCon stuff. And this right here is the first thing. I'm going to kind of take you in order of what we ended up doing Friday. And I'll show you everything. We've got some cool signatures, some cool buys, some cool books, and some neat little stories. So this was actually the first thing we did. I bought this print. It just completely caught my eye. We talked to Enrique Quique Rodriguez, and he was super, super nice, super cool, told us about his art and his daughter's drawing, and he was just a really nice guy, and I just had to come home with this print. So I'm letting it be the background right now. There's a little sleeve on it, which is, you can see, that's why it's so shiny. We're just putting books on it real gently, and it's just going to be the background for this video, and maybe future videos too. So, Enrique, you were really, really nice. Thank you so much. And Enrique also took a look at my own artwork. I made this. This is Pat labor is everything on this channel. But I did this artwork for a friend, Mike Moon, who we'll talk about what I got from Mike momentarily. But you know Mike from my other videos, and when I've looked at Mike's stuff, and you've seen Mike in like my first video, pretty much. But I did this for Mike to give to him, and I made 2 prints, and Mike has one, and I still have this one. But I got to show Enrique and some other people this artwork, and Enrique, you were really, really nice about, what I'll improve and what could be better, and just some interesting things about the line work. So Enrique, you are super, super awesome. Thank you so, so much for looking at that, if you ever see this. It was really great to bring my own artwork around. I've been drawing like a fiend, especially since I last saw you guys here on YouTube. I've been drawing a lot. I got a new drawing tablet, and that's been a lot of fun for me. Next, what we did is I made a list of people who I wanted Siggys from. And here, I'll take this out of the top loader. Everything on it is so reflective, and I've got one glary light. But this is my Vampirella Godtail cover that I really like. I really like Godtail's artwork in general. I wish I had more books. I would have brought like 3 or 4 for sure. But really awesome silver signature. I got a damn Godtail signature on this goonerific Vampirella cover. I really enjoyed that. I read this comic, by the way. It's terrible. Basically, it made me feel like I never read a comic book before, or I don't speak English, or something like that. Really, really don't recommend it for the story, but, does it look like I bought it for the story? Okay, so after Godtail, we found Mike. And I looked through Mike's stuff, and this is the first thing that jumped out at me. Captain Harlock, the Eternity Comics take on it, I guess you could say. Have not read this yet. I haven't had time to read almost anything, basically, since I came home from the convention, and I did a bunch of stuff Saturday. But you might remember, I believe I've shown it in a video. If not, I will next time. But this has Ben Dunn artwork, and I can't remember if the writer was the same, but there was a Queen Emeraldis series as well, and I ended up reading all of that. I think it was a 5-issue miniseries, and that was actually pretty good. I really enjoyed that, seeing this kind of different alternative take on the Leiji Matsumoto world. And, I know it's like maybe not authentic, or maybe not like, the real deal, and I know that, but I think it's interesting that this kind of stuff happened at all, because it doesn't really happen all that often. Nowadays, the only thing I can think of is maybe like Titan Comics doing Kamen Rider 01 and like stuff like that. And they were supposed to do Grendizer, and I don't think that ever came out. But yeah, this kind of thing doesn't happen all the time. It happened more back then, though, and that's what's really interesting. So I'm really excited to see this one later and look inside. I actually really like Ben Dunn's imitations and take on Matsumoto. I mean, like, that's pretty good. Like, this looks like Harlock and the crew. So really, really interested to see what that's about. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but it's not like my channel's monetized anyway. But this is Megami magazine. Hear me out. I love Gurren Lagann, and I am a big fan of Yoko Littner and Gurren Lagann in general. And here, I'll let you see the title here. It's Megami Magazine. And like you would expect with that title, everything inside here, I've only skimmed it lightly, but everything is girls, which is kind of like how it should be. This has a little bit of a messed up cover. I don't know if you can see it. It's like water damage, I guess, right here. But anyway, here, I'll just let's look at it like that, shall we? I just took a brief skim through this. Everything is girls, which is fine with me. I saw some stuff about Lucky Star. I saw some stuff about Code Geass, which is really great. So, you know, when I see 2008, that's a little bit of like a neuron activation number. It's like, oh, I remember that. I was a teenager having fun watching stuff. So, definitely gonna look through this and have some fun. I did skim, and there's a poster of this in here, and the same artwork. There's a big poster, and my friend who reads Japanese told me, hey, there's a thing on the front that says there's a huge poster in here, and I was like, okay, well, cool, good to know. So, yeah, Mike had a bunch more magazines, and I like coming home and bringing magazines even when I can't read them, like this one. But, yeah, I saw Yoko on the front. This is a pretty well-known illustration, and I was like, well, that's coming home with me. So, these are the things we got from Mike. I believe what we got next was, you know, it's funny, I had a goal to buy a Golden Age comic, and I didn't, but this is the closest thing I got. This is Superman 124, July 1958, I believe. Still got the sticker on it, $30. I think it presents pretty good for $30. I was pretty happy with it. There's like a chip down here, but like the color is like pretty good. Like you can see some breaking and like lines and stress like right here on the Night Guy, which you expect with that black color. But like most of this looks pretty good, and I was really happy to see this one. I've had this issue on my radar for like a year or a year and a half, and you're like, why? What's special about it? Nothing really. I just think Kurt Swan drew a sick Knight. Like this guy looks really cool. Here, let's take a closer look. That is so cool. I feel bad for Superman. He's about to get his ass kicked, but he kind of always is in these sorts of books. So yeah, what do you think? Did I do pretty good? I will read this. I do tend to read comics even of this age and this condition. I had no intention of like getting it. I don't think it's a really slab-worthy candidate, do you? So I will read this with my hands. Ah, yes, here we go. So we could not find Sanford Green in the morning, who was my next signature candidate. So I decided, I bet we have time. Kind of silly of me now in retrospect, but we did have the time to go see Skottie Young. And I didn't actually bring any Skottie books with me to get signed because I never have had any. I've always been waiting for like the Skottie that's gonna hit. But they were selling a few. I think this is the right one for me. The line was pretty long when we got there. It was about 45-minute wait, which apparently is not even close to what the Chris Claremont line was. But anyway, really, really love this cover. And Skottie was really, really nice. We kind of had to keep things moving. But I didn't mind picking this up. I'm not sure if I'm going to read this one with my hands. I may try to find a reader copy. At the end of the Ghost Spider series they just did, which I really, really loved, by the way. I thought it was really good. Marvel, I hate you. Why do you cancel everything? But at the end of that book, there's an advertisement for this, as if to say, like, okay, if you want to see more Ghost Spider, she's right here. And Ghost Spider's, like, total neuron activation character I love. So, yeah, I might try to read this one with my hand. I might just leave it in this bag and board. And whoever was in the Skottie line, when I asked for a bag and board, because I didn't know it wasn't going to come with one, I just got this book raw. And whoever loaned me that bag and board, thank you very much. That was very, very kind of you. So, yeah, got a really cool Skottie signature. My friend and I talked about this new character, this Spider Girl. No idea who she is. I saw a couple number ones of her recent book that came out, and I thought about going for it just to find out who she is. What her real name is, because I have absolutely no idea. But didn't end up doing that this time. But yeah, Skottie was really nice. The people in the Skottie line were nice, and I saw a lot of people holding some really, really cool books. So that was definitely fun to see for me. So after Skottie, we were like, okay, let's go back and look for Sanford Green. And my poor friend is starving and their back is aching and I'm sure their feet hurt and they had a headache. But Sanford was like number one on my list to get signed this weekend because I have the early Sanford Green Sonic the Hedgehog covers, and let's see. It's kind of hard to see that signature with the shadow, so I'll show you. I don't think these are his first published works ever, but they're really early in Sanford Green's career, and I really want more Sanford Green books in general because his art is wonderful and he seems like a really wonderful person. But yeah, I had these, and I was like, well, I gotta go get them signed, right? Like, this is pretty cool. I also think this is the issue. I think maybe I mentioned it before, but I think this is where like Mina Mongooses' boyfriend like blows up. Like, there's just a random bomb in her bedroom, and he's like, no, and he just like runs off screen and explodes. Maybe I'll find a picture of that. It is the funniest thing ever. This is definitely the era of Sonic like falling apart, or as Archie comics go. But hey, it has great artwork and great covers, and I have cool Siggys. Sanford was really nice. We didn't get to talk too much. I did get a little quip in. I said, hey, do you see these that often? And he said not too often. So thank you, Mr. Green, for your signatures and your time. It was very, very nice. The Sanford Green line was total chaos. I wasn't sure how long it was going to be. I was like, it seems like it won't be that bad. But like, so like Sanford Green was right next to Nick Dragotta, who was right next to Daniel Warren Johnson, like nuclear bomb versus nuclear bomb versus nuclear bomb. I'm like, separate them. So like the lines were all really weird and twisty, and I think people were cutting in line to see Sanford Green or something. So we had to wait much longer than I expected, but maybe that was wrong with me. Sanford Green's really popular, so maybe I'm just an idiot for, expecting otherwise. So after that, we took a little lunch break finally and went upstairs, had a break, went to some panels. We went to a storyboarding panel. I cannot remember the name of the presenter. I will add it in the video after this, but they were really, really nice. It was a really informative panel. The storyboarding and animatics we saw were really cool and really informative, so I liked that. I missed the Pride panel. I was stuck in the Sanford Green line, so that caused me to miss the Pride panel, which I felt really bad about, but I saw it last year, and the same people pretty much were there. So after we came back, me and my friend, we hunted for some modern comics, and I'll show you which ones I got from that escapade, but we went to go see Jim Rugg, and I'm a big fan of cartoonist kayfabe. Cartoonist kayfabe is a big part of why I even bothered to do like YouTube videos at all. You know, I've kind of emulated that style. Not nearly as good. I'm not nearly as knowledgeable as Jim is, but my buddy actually found Hulk Grand Design in a bin, and we were like, oh, cool. And we were like, oh, hey, Jim Rugg is here. We saw him on the way to Scotty, but I just kind of looked at him, and I was sort of nervous. I didn't know what to say because I really admire him. But I handed Jim 20, and I talked about, hey, I love your channel. I like following you. You taught me so much about comic history and comic making and art and everything. And there was just a warmth in Jim's eyes. Like, he seemed really genuinely very appreciative that I said those things, and we talked for a little bit. Jim also saw my sweet Pat Labor print. I think it's sweet. I'm really proud of this. I didn't do that good over here, but it's a weird shape. So, but Jim was really nice. We talked about drawing people and drawing mecha, and my heart lit up. Jim said, "Are you a creator?" And I was like, oh, "I'll be launching something soon." So, which is true. I will be. More about that in the future. But Jim, you were super, super nice. We talked about you all after the show and how nice you were and how cool you were. And I cannot wait to read this. But I kept calling him Mr. Rugg, and he was like, oh, please, just Jim. And he did this really awesome sketch, and or maybe you call it a remark. What is the difference between a little sketch and a remark? But thank you, Jim. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely thrilled. I just can't wait to read this. So it looks pretty awesome, don't you think? So I can't wait to read it. And this little card popped out. So Jim, if you ever see this video, thank you very, very much. You were a total highlight of the convention. All right, so after that, I think I had seen everybody I planned to see. I saw Mike, I saw Sanford Green, I saw Godtail, Scotty, and Mr. Jim Rugg. So we went looking around. You know, I keep thinking like, oh, I'm going to buy some vintage comics this time, and I never do. I don't know why. I guess I just like modern comics and modern variants. But I like that whole system. But saw this at I want to mention, wow, this black is reflecting crazy. Oh boy. But these Mylar bags, you know. Woo, but I think it's a Mylar. God, I mean, it feels stocky and good. But this cover, saw this in a bin. We were just looking for modern books at I believe it's Groundbreaker Comics is the vendor. Here, let's take this out. I can't show you guys this. No, there's tape on the back. I hate tape. Oh yeah, so get this. That's much better. You can actually see it. Here we go. Venom, eyes lit up, regular Venom. Looks really good. This is Separation Anxiety, which I'm sure is one of many, many Venom miniseries I do, and I guarantee you Venom's probably not actually in it. You know, let's find out. I want to know. Not seeing her, guys. The Venomverse books are crazy. I read a few of them. They're really... I don't know what I'd say about them. They're, Wow, Eddie's belt. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. She's not in this. But that's okay. Gorgeous cover. But it turned out, it's a retail exclusive. It's a 616 exclusive. I was like, oh, cool. I didn't find that out till I went to go log it on, League of Comic Geeks. I was like, oh, cool. Got a cool little exclusive. I guess that's the thing about retailer exclusives. They just end up in bins in like weird places and heavily discounted. And, you know, they say maybe you shouldn't always pay full price for these, but I love exclusives. They make my brain go like, ooh, exclusive. Even though I know they're really not going to be worth anything. I still just really like exclusives. So, that's my little personal weakness. Look, this one's resealable. PCW, reseal. Thank you. But this, so I had $5 left after everything I just showed you. And, we were talking to a couple vendors, and I was not doing this out of like sympathy or like trying to get anything, but we were just joking with some people like, hey, we're looking through your stuff, but I actually only have $5. And the gentleman at the booth that had this said, all right, you can have one of the trade, this kind of trade, not trade paperback, but you can have a trade for $5. I was like, what? And I found a Rian Gonzales with the Fantastic Four and Galacta. It's Marvel Rivals 1, which I think this is a collection of like the Infinity comics they were doing. I think. And I think maybe this is Galacta's first appearance in print. It was something like that, wasn't it? Somebody will correct me, I'm sure, or I'll find out after I film this video and I've gotten everything wrong. But yeah, Rian Gonzales. I have a few more. I have a Birds of Prey from Gonzales, and I have other stuff. But I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, hell yeah! So this was an easy deal for $5. I will read this. I'll read this with my hands too. I'll do that today probably. All right, I have one more thing I forgot to show you guys. It's at the bottom of the stack of everything I just showed you. But more spider people. Yeah, who would have guessed? But this is Maihack, who was selling prints at a tiny little space in the convention center. But I saw this and I said, deal. $10 print. This beautiful like card, Valentine's Day type thing. I was just like, nope, deal. That's coming home with me. Not letting that one go. And I'll try to zoom this one in for you guys. Look at the line work up there. Really cool. And I like that kind of like textured. What would you call that? It's not really like a pen exactly. Like the little heart bubble there. Whatever. See, I'm trying to learn about these things, and some people are much wiser than I am. But yeah, absolutely love this print. I will try to frame this probably, and Mr. Enriquez. This was just so sweet. Signed as well. So nice. Everybody was so nice. That was the great thing. Everybody was super, super nice. Here, I'm going to put my own artwork back up. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. If anybody wants it, let me know, I guess. But, okay. I think that covers everything we did for HeroesCon. It was a lot of fun. And for me, this was my first year, like, really actively, like, I have some books I want to get signed. I have some people I want to say hello to. I have this, and that. So for me, this was a much bigger year than years previous, where I've kind of just floated around and shopped for comics, which I enjoy a lot, don't get me wrong. But meeting more creative people this year, meeting more creators, having good conversations with a few people, like at Artist Alley, That was a lot of fun for me. This was really a special year for me. So I definitely want to come back next year. I love HeroesCon, so maybe next year I'll have a few more interesting prints and my art will be better. But we'll see. That's a whole year out. So, all right, I think we'll call it a wrap there. I will edit all these funny little mistakes and things out. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you've had me with a meal as your meal video, I hope that tasted good. But I will see you guys again in the future. Keep reading, keep having fun, and I'll see you all next time.